Cheers, guys. Epyx 911 here with the morning coffee, doing the September 19th news about 12 hours late. Had a really bad migraine yesterday, and it's basically darkness and sleep is the only thing that helps that. Then up early to drive my daughter's friend to the airport. End result, we're late. But with that said, we got some really cool VR stuff to talk about today, starting with this first story. So the original Rift audio filters were designed to replicate and place sounds at least a meter away from a user's position. Oculus has just revealed two new tools for developers to place these sounds even closer and do some really cool things in terms of the radius of sound. So the first of these is near field HRTF. The second, volumetric sound sources. So as far as near field HRTF is concerned, they can put audio right next to you, like a whisper in the ear. In fact, I've got the links for that. Listen to it with headphones, pretty damn unnerving, and picture that in a horror game. Absolutely amazing. The second, volumetric sound sources. This one deals with the challenge of sounds that don't have a single starting point. Like take the ocean, you're at the beach, it stretches from left to right and into the horizon. Using volumetric sound sources, you can give that sound a radius and model objects of pretty much any size. The larger the radius, the bigger the sound source is going to be. So I've got the links for both of those in the description. No word yet on when these are going to be released, but some fantastic news on the audio front. Next up, not a highly reviewed game. In fact, it's getting pretty much mediocre scores, but it's a specific type of game that may be of interest to a few of you. If you've played Streets of Rage on the Master System or the Sega Genesis, you're going to have an idea of what to expect. Side-scrolling beat-em-up brawler games similar to Battletoads, Double Dragon, etc. is the best way to describe Streets of Rage if you haven't played it. It's available in 2D and virtual reality mode. All three major platforms, Rift, Vive, PSVR supported. You can play it, like I said, in 2D. If you play it in VR, it kind of comes across to those who've played it as action figures on a diorama doing battle, which sounds pretty cool. Again, the game rated pretty mediocre, and it's really only going to appeal to fans of that style of game. And in my opinion, playing it cooperatively. Yes, cooperative multiplayer supported in this. I see this as having your buddies over, having a few drinks, and this is the type of game that would be a lot of fun in those circumstances. $14.99 US via Steam Store for Rift and Vive and PlayStation Store for PlayStation VR. Next up, our last story, Pimax launching their 4K per eye VR HMD Kickstarter today. They asked for $200,000 US. They hit that goal within 2 hours. At the time of this story, they are at $584,657 US. Talked about this device a couple of weeks ago, wanted to spend a few more minutes on it to clarify things and just kind of give you my opinion on whether or not the Kickstarter, you should support that. You're ultimately going to have to make your own choice. I just want you to make an informed one and have a look at some threads that are circulating on the official forums. So what we didn't talk about in detailed depth, and I should have, even though it's pretty widely known, is the Steam VR compatibility. So Steam VR is compatible with this device. All Lighthouse versions are supported. Now, this is going to be my own feeling. Your results may vary, but I've got some issues with some of the wording and some of the communication that Pimax and the Pimax team has had with the people entertaining, purchasing this, supporting the Kickstarter. For example, take this thread, and I'm going to have the link for that in the description below. It's approaching about 600 postings at the time of me kind of researching this. And what just came to light is that there's no native 4K support. The display, we knew the 8K, it's a little bit of marketing, it's the two 4Ks to make 8K. Think of that what you will. I'm not gonna, that alone isn't a huge issue for me because the specs have always told the truth, right? The issue I have with the native 4K support is that was assumed to be present. However, it's 1440p upscaled to 4K. The reason, and when they did know, they let the consumers know right away that the bridge chip that they're using does not provide native 4K support at the resolution initially advertised. So, what had happened was they had a discussion with their Silicon Valley supply vendor company by the name of Analogics, and they were informed that there wouldn't be native 4K support. It's a future bridge chip that's going to support it. So they've made a couple of other options available. Purchase this one now, they will cover the shipping, and when the other version comes out, you could swap it. Now, you're purchasing that better, higher priced version, getting the inferior one in the meantime that you would then send back with no shipping. Now, my recommendation, guys, and this is, again, where my opinion comes in and your results are going to vary and, you're going to do what you're going to do, but I would just wait. If this is a device that you've wanted, with this new information, you're still okay with purchasing it, fine. But why not just wait? Their shipping dates are going to be for January. That way, if there are any other surprises, you're going to be aware of those. And that new bridge version supposedly is going to be available in May. So that would be my recommendation. Just wait. Wait until next spring. Then you can make the decision. You're going to do what you're going to do at the end of it. If you do, let the rest of us know here. We'd love to hear about it come January, February. But again, personally, I would wait. All right, guys, that is it for the, I was going to say hump day news, but technically this is still Tuesday. I'll be back later today with today's news. And again, apologies for the delay, guys. As always, cheers with a coffee.